Welcome back, everyone. Today's deep dive is going to be a little different.
Yeah.
We usually pick the topic, but this time it's something one of you sent in, and it's all about fishing charter websites. Now, you might be thinking, why would I care about that?
Yeah.
But hold on, this is actually really interesting. The article's from Site Design and Now W. They're an Australian web design company, and they really break down what makes a good website, not just for charters, but really for anything.
Yeah, it's true. The principles in this article, essential features for a successful fishing charter website, are surprisingly universal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it all boils down to user experience and, good old marketing psychology.
Exactly. We're going to look at some really specific things like boat descriptions and online booking and even the crew bios. Who knew that was important, right?
Well,
But it all ties back to building trust online.
and that's something everyone needs to worry about, whether you're selling fishing trips or, I don't know, hand-knitted sweaters.
Right. So the article kind of starts off with the obvious. A good website is crucial these days, especially for businesses like fishing charters. They're in a competitive market.
Especially in places like Logan, Australia, where this company's based. They even mentioned that specifically.
Oh, interesting. So they're really speaking to their local market.
Yeah, but the points they make apply globally, too. It's not just about having a pretty site. It's about capturing the feel of the experience, making it easy to book, and really building that confidence.
Almost like you're setting the hook before they even get on the boat.
Exactly.
So let's reel in some of those key features, shall we? What do they recommend?
Well, first off, they talk about the importance of detailed trip offerings. And not just saying, fishing trip. You got to break it down. Half day, full day, overnight. Are you targeting specific species? Things like that.
That makes sense. I mean, I'm not a big angler myself, so if I was looking to book a charter, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
See, that's what I mean about understanding your audience. Not everyone's an expert. And tailoring your website to those different needs, that's huge.
Okay, so clarity is key. What else did they highlight?
Well, this one I found interesting. They really go in on boat details.
Boat details. I wouldn't have thought that was so crucial.
It's all about transparency and building trust. Think about it. You're trusting these people to take you out on open water.
Oh, yeah, you want to know what you're getting into.
You want to know if the boat has air conditioning,
Yeah.
what kind of safety features,
Mhm.
navigation equipment, all that stuff.
And if they're following all the regulations, especially in Australia, where things can be strict.
Absolutely. And the article also mentions using really evocative imagery of the boat, not just, a snapshot.
You mean photos that really sell the experience?
Exactly. Like, think about it. When you visit a website, what's the first thing you notice?
The pictures.
Right. So they need to be high quality and, capture the feeling so that the customer can really picture themselves on that boat.
Like, if I'm browsing different charters, a great photo could totally sway me.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've got clear trip details, and we've got drool-worthy boat photos. What's next?
Well, this one might seem obvious, but it's super important. A smooth online booking system.
Oh, yeah, in today's world, you got to make things easy.
People want convenience. So a seamless system, ideally one that's mobile friendly. That can be the difference between a customer booking with you or going to a competitor.
I also noticed they mentioned easy booking modifications and cancellations. That seems thoughtful, It's about customer peace of mind.
Yeah, people want that control and flexibility online.
So they don't feel trapped, like they're stuck with a decision they made.
Exactly. It's a small thing, but it builds trust.
Makes sense. So what else is on the list?
They spend a good amount of time talking about the fishing gallery.
Oh, the pictures of all the catches.
Yes, but not just that. It's about showcasing the whole experience. Scenery, happy guests, all that good stuff.
It's about using those visuals to tell a story.
Exactly. And they suggest capturing different scenarios, like day and night fishing, calm waters, maybe some more adventurous conditions.
So potential customers can really see themselves there, no matter what kind of trip they're looking for.
Yeah, paint that picture for them.
All right, now this is where I thought things got really interesting. They talk about including bios for the captain and crew. I mean, I don't think that's something you normally see on a website.
It's a great point, though. It's about bringing in the human element.
Oh, I see. So it's not just booking a boat. You're booking an experience with these specific people.
Right. You're getting to know the captain, their experience, maybe some qualifications.
Almost like choosing a tour guide. You want someone knowledgeable, someone you feel comfortable with.
Exactly. They even suggest sharing little anecdotes, maybe about the crew's connection to the local waters.
Or highlighting any certifications they have, awards, things like that.
It all adds to that personal touch, builds trust and rapport.
It's like you're putting a face to the name, making the whole experience feel more personal.
Yeah, especially online where things can feel so impersonal sometimes.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from detailed descriptions to stunning visuals and even the crew's personalities.
And it all comes back to building trust and making the booking process smooth and enjoyable.
But here's the thing. How does this apply to someone who's not running a fishing charter?
Well, that's what we're going to explore next. These principles, they're surprisingly versatile. And we'll see how they can be used for almost any business or website.
Sounds good. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. But for now, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back to continue this deep dive into the world of website design.
See you in a bit.
So we've seen how a fishing charter website uses all these things, like detailed information and visuals, and even the crew's personalities to really build that trust with potential customers, and to make it really easy to book a trip. But how does this translate to other types of websites? Like, what if I'm selling, I don't know, pottery? Or promoting my music online?
Well, that's the cool thing about these principles. They're surprisingly adaptable. You just have to think about the core concept, like take those fishing trip descriptions. The main idea there is to be really specific about what you offer and to highlight how it matches what your audience is looking for.
So instead of half-day inshore fishing, it's more like beginner's pottery workshop or limited edition vinyl with bonus tracks, something like that.
Exactly. And just like with the boat features, you have to think about the information that your customers need to feel confident. Like if you're selling handmade jewelry, maybe you talk about sourcing ethically mined materials, or you showcase the craftsmanship that goes into each piece.
It's all about being transparent, right? Letting people see what's behind the scenes.
Exactly. And then there's the whole online booking thing. Now, obviously not every business needs that, but the idea of making things easy for your customers, that's universal.
Totally, because every time a customer has to, hunt for information or click through a bunch of pages or try to figure out confusing instructions, it's just another chance for them to get frustrated and give up.
Right. They might just go to a competitor instead.
So whether it's making the checkout process super smooth on your online store or clearly explaining how to contact you for a quote, it's about removing those obstacles.
Absolutely. And speaking of removing obstacles, we can't forget about visual storytelling. Remember those fishing galleries? That concept applies to any business that can benefit from showing instead of just telling.
Oh, I see what you mean. So instead of just listing the benefits of your yoga classes, you'd have photos of a peaceful studio and, happy students.
Right. Or if you're a musician, maybe you share behind-the-scenes videos from your recording sessions.
Show people what it's like to work with you.
Exactly. Because remember, visuals evoke emotions. They make people feel something, which is way more powerful than just reading a list of bullet points.
That's so true. Now, the crew bios thing really stuck with me. It's like they're saying, don't be afraid to put a human face on your business. But what if you're a solo entrepreneur? You don't have a whole crew to showcase.
Well, think of it this way. People connect with people, right? Especially online where everything can feel so impersonal. So anything you can do to highlight that human element is going to help you stand out.
So maybe it's featuring testimonials from satisfied customers. Or maybe you do a spotlight on the team behind the scenes, even if it's just you.
Even a simple About Us page where you share your story and your values, that could make a big difference.
It's about letting your personality shine through, making people feel like they're connecting with a real person.
And not just some faceless company. It makes you relatable.
Okay, so before we wrap things up, there's one more big idea from this article that I think is super important.
Oh yeah, this one is key, especially in the online world where everything's changing so fast.
It's the idea that your website, it can't just be this static thing, like an online brochure. It needs to be more dynamic, more engaging.
Right, it should be a tool, not just a source of information.
Exactly. It needs to be something that builds trust and ultimately encourages people to take action.
It's almost like a conversation with your audience. You're anticipating their needs, answering their questions, guiding them towards whatever that goal is.
So you're not just building a website, you're constantly working on it, refining it, making sure it's easy to use, that it serves its purpose.
It's like, I don't know, think of it like fishing again. You wouldn't just cast a line and hope for the best. You'd use different techniques, different tools to improve your chances.
I like that analogy. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of fishing charter websites, what's the one big takeaway you want listeners to remember?
Put yourself in the visitor's shoes. Really, what are they looking for? What are they worried about? How can you make the experience, the whole online experience, as smooth and informative as possible.
It's about empathy, right?
Exactly. It's about understanding your audience and building something that truly serves them.
And this isn't just a one-time thing.
Oh, absolutely not. A website is never truly finished. It's constantly evolving.
You got to keep up with trends, with new technology, and of course, with the changing needs of your audience.
Be willing to experiment, see what works, and always be looking for ways to improve.
So, to leave everyone with something to ponder, we've talked a lot about bringing that human element into websites.
Yeah, like with those crew bios.
But what else can we bring online? What other aspects of, I don't know, the real world?
How can we use technology to create these richer, more meaningful experiences? Ones that go beyond just information and really connect with people.
That's something to think about. But for now, we're going to have to cast off. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time for another adventure in the online world.